Hey guys, it's Jen. Today we're going to be talking about unpopular beauty opinions, and this video idea is inspired by Emily Noel's Hot Takes video. She had done a couple of weeks back, and also Jessica Braun did one. I really enjoyed watching those, so I thought I would do my own version. So I asked you guys on my YouTube community page and also on Instagram stories to let me know what your unpopular beauty opinions are, just about the makeup world, makeup in general, or the beauty YouTube community. And I got so many responses, so I probably am not going to get through them all. But a lot of the questions also do seem to be very similar to each other, so hopefully that kind of cuts down a little bit. I'm just going to group those together as one big question. So why don't we go ahead and just jump right in, and I'll read the first one. So the first one says, I hate the way beauty YouTubers say the skin in every video. It lays so nicely on the skin. It looks so pretty on the skin. You don't have to say that. It sounds so creepy. Okay, so oh my gosh, I don't want to offend anybody because some of my favorite YouTubers that I watch actually do say it that way, but I kind of agree with you, and I think of like Silence of the Lambs or something every time someone says it that way. Like saying it in the third person, it's almost like it's a separate entity, like it's not part of you, rather than saying my skin. So yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Hopefully nobody gets offended, but yeah, I think of the same exact thing. All right, and then the next one is, glittery eyeshadows are uncomfortable, itchy, and drives me crazy when the glitter falls all over my face, even with glitter glue. The pressed glitters in palettes need to stop. I agree with you there. I am not a fan of glitter eyeshadow, not just because of the way it looks, but also for the reasons that you mentioned. It tends to fall all over my face. It actually can get in your eyes. A lot of glitters aren't even eye safe, and I wear contact lenses, so if one of those glitter particles gets stuck like under my contact, it could be really painful and actually dangerous. Even if I wanted to wear glitter, which it's not really my thing, so I don't, even if I wanted to, I don't think I would, just because I don't want to mess with my eyes in any way. All right, so then the next one is, gray or cool toned eyeshadow is not an ugly color. Yes, I 100% agree with you there. A lot of people don't wear gray, and I don't get it because when I was in my teens and 20s, I only wore gray eyeshadow. Once in a while I would wear brown, but for some reason, I guess I just liked the way the gray looked with my pink toned skin because it's cooler toned, I guess. I just thought it went a little better, so I wore gray pretty much exclusively until I got more into makeup and started experimenting with other colors. But I love gray. I definitely agree with you there. All right, so then the next one is, I don't support Huda Beauty at all and don't get why some do, to each their own. So I actually got a couple of comments like this, and I found them interesting because I mean, I don't follow drama channels or beauty community drama in general. I mean, I don't live under a rock. Like, I've heard some of the bigger ones, like the whole James Charles Tati thing. I know, reasons why people aren't a fan of Jeffree Star, or, the Kat Von D anti-vax thing, but I honestly haven't heard anything about Huda at all. So I'd really be curious to know if you guys could leave a comment down below if you've heard anything about Huda or the brand. I would love to hear your thoughts on that one. That's really interesting. So then the next one is, I hate words like wearable and work appropriate. I work in retail and I don't want to wear neutrals. So yeah, I actually agree with this, and I've kind of learned this over time. I am very guilty of saying wearable and work appropriate for most of my channel, and really only very recently I stopped using those words because yeah, there's so many different work environments nowadays where a lot of workplaces are not conservative and will let you wear any makeup that you want, and just what's wearable for one person may not be wearable for another. So I like to just say something's a neutral look or it's a colorful look, and just call it what it is rather than saying wearable, because what's wearable to me is neutrals, but what's wearable to you guys might be colorful looks. So I definitely agree with that one. So then the next one says, I hate when influencers say a product is bad as if it's an absolute fact. I agree with you there too. I always try to kind of give a scenario where even if I don't like something, that somebody else might. For example, if I don't like a foundation, sometimes I just blame it on my dry skin, and I say, maybe if you have a different skin type, it might work better for you. Even somebody that does have dry skin just might have a different preference than I do, or they're using a different primer with it, or they add oil to it, or they make it work somehow. So yeah, I don't think it's ever wise to say a product is just absolute trash, because there's definitely going to be some people out there who like it. There's just so many opinions out there. It's really hard to just make something very black and white when it comes to beauty products. Next one says, I think high-end skincare is not worth the price. I agree and disagree with this one. I found so many affordable skincare products that I absolutely love, and I think especially when it comes to things like cleansers and moisturizers. Cleanser is just taking off your makeup. If you find one at the drugstore that works really well for you and that's not gonna strip your skin or anything, that's not gonna be too harsh, I think there's no point whatsoever in spending money on a high-end cleanser. Same thing with moisturizer. If you find a really good drugstore formula that hydrates your skin properly for your skin type, by all means, I think that's awesome, and there's really no point. When it comes to serums, I'm a lot more picky, and I think a lot of high-end serums contain more active ingredients than the ones at the drugstore. At least that's been my opinion and just my overall experience. When I've tried high-end serums, I've noticed a little bit more in terms of results than ones that I've tried from the drugstore. But I would say one exception to this is K-Beauty, because I think Korean skincare is amazing. Their ingredients are so good, so high quality, and they're way more affordable than other products that you would find at Sephora, like a Sunday Riley or Peter Thomas Roth. So I definitely would recommend checking out K-Beauty in general if you're more on a budget, because you can get those really high quality ingredients and really high concentrations of active ingredients in those products for about the same as what you'd pay for drugstore brands. So yeah, if you're looking for good results at a really great price, K-Beauty is definitely where it's at. The next one is, why do they have to include a highlighter and bronzer and a blush? Just make a blush palette. Yeah, I don't know why that is anymore. I feel like a lot of brands back in the day used to make all blush palettes, and now they don't. There's always face products, and it seemed to kind of come along with the rise of highlighters and people using highlighters a lot, where all the brands decided we're just gonna make a face palette or a cheek palette. I wish some would just get back into making blush palettes again, because I loved blush palettes. I have so many sitting in a drawer that are discontinued at this point, but I still use them just because I like having the variety of blushes. I even like layering blushes sometimes, and having them all together in a palette can really make me see kind of which ones I want to pair with which ones. So yeah, I definitely agree with you there. They should start making those again. And then the next one is kind of like a group answer, because I got so many responses about false lashes, full coverage foundation and concealer, thick brows. So really what you guys are saying is that you don't like really heavy makeup looks. Just a few examples of what you said, that you need to wear full coverage and use large amounts of concealer to create a beautiful look. So untrue. YouTubers seem to be behind on the trends, still doing over contouring, full coverage foundations, and cut creases. I think cut creases are hideous. Thick pomade brows, heavy contour, and Kylie Jenner-esque lips are hideous. Eye looks are complete without falsies too. People saying that false lashes are basically a way of cheating when you do your makeup. Even if you have bad makeup skills, the false lashes hide that and make your eyes look fantastic even if you're not wearing eyeshadow at all. So I actually find this interesting, because the people who I think are the most popular on Instagram and YouTube are the ones that are still doing these really full glam looks like this. But I'm wondering if we're starting to see a trend going the opposite way now, where people are starting to embrace the minimalist trend that we saw back in the 90s. Like back when I was growing up, actually when I was a kid in the 80s, the heavy contour, the blue eyeshadow, everybody was like really full glam all the time. And then we saw a huge shift in the 90s with the next generation coming in and doing like those really bare faces. Like I'm thinking back to Kate Moss, for example, on the runway, and how, you know, she might just have a bold lip but like no other makeup on her face. That really like kind of no makeup look was really in then. So I'm really wondering if the next generation that's coming up after the one that loves the full glam is gonna be back towards like more of a 90s trend. So it'll be really interesting to see. I've actually felt stuck in the past sometimes, because I wasn't really willing to get on board with all the full glam looks and the false lashes and the contour and highlight and all that stuff. It just really didn't feel like me, so I wasn't willing to do it just to get popular on YouTube. So yeah, just the fact that I'm seeing so many responses saying the same thing tells me that you guys are kind of over that and are starting to think of that as like a last generation kind of thing. Another one that I got so many comments about was overlining the lips, and how it just looks super unnatural, that it looks weird, that you can totally tell if somebody overlines their lips. Yes and no. I've done it before and actually really loved the way that it looked. And I think you have to do it the right way though, because there have been times when I think I tried it and it looked terrible on me and I look back and kind of cringe. But I saw recently, I want to say over the summer, Kathleen Lights did a video about how to line your lips so that it doesn't look weird. And basically she talked about focusing the overdrawing just in like the center here and then the center of the bottom one, and then to take it back in when you go on the side. Because if you overline all the way to the corners of your mouth, it'll give you that weird duck lips kind of look. So I actually tried her tips and really liked it a lot. I'm not doing it today, but there have been videos when I look back and think I should really overline my lips a little more often because they just looked really good. So I think it has to be done properly, but lip liner can definitely be your friend. All right, and then next up, I also got a lot of comments about the fast beauty trend and how companies are just releasing way too much makeup. This comment says, I don't appreciate how many beauty gurus / YouTubers keep pushing the fast beauty trend. If a company releases 7 new palettes every month, it's unrealistic that one person likes all of them. And definitely I agree with you that beauty companies are moving way too fast with the new releases. I actually look back fondly on the time when brands like Urban Decay and Anastasia would come out with 1 palette every couple months or maybe 2 palettes a year, and we'd really have a long amount of time to really play with the one that we got before the next one would hit. And actually I feel like it was just a couple months ago I was saying that Anastasia was one of the brands that wasn't doing that, and now all of a sudden they're jumping on the bandwagon. They've released like 6 new palettes in the last 2 months or something crazy like that. So yeah, it just seems like everybody is doing this now, and I think part of it is pressure from the retailers. I've heard that a lot of the retailers are demanding more and more products because beauty sales are slowing down, and I just think that they're totally misreading the whole situation where they think, well, we need more choice. Maybe people don't have enough choices, when really I think people are slowing down because there's too much and we're overwhelmed. And there was one point in time when everybody was buying as a collector almost. Like, I need to buy every single Anastasia palette that comes out. I need to buy every single ColourPop palette or every Urban Decay Naked palette. And I think even myself included, I've slowed down a little bit. I haven't bought the last couple of ColourPop releases because back then we used to buy makeup, I think, not with a collector's mindset, but just with, am I gonna wear this? Am I gonna use this? Is this something that I think will look good on me? And then when everybody started collecting makeup and it was a big thing, I think a lot of people, myself included, just felt like we needed to buy them all just to round out the collection. We wanted to feel like it was complete and we weren't missing anything. And I definitely bought palettes that I hardly ever wear, like the Naked Cherry palette. I don't really wear red eyeshadows that much, but I bought it because I have all the other Naked palettes. And I really am trying hard to stop doing that. It's hard being a YouTuber though. And this actually kind of goes back to the original response that said she doesn't like how YouTubers are pushing this fast beauty trend. And I think we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place with it a little bit because there is so much new coming out and there's so much to cover, and new makeup videos, like it or not, get the most views, and older makeup videos just don't. It's like whenever I post a video like a shop my stash, which I haven't done in a really long time for this reason, it's like crickets. I hardly get any views on it. At the end of the day, it is our job to review this new stuff, and even though people say they want to see older stuff, how boring would it be if I came on here and only talked about the same couple of lipsticks that I wear all the time, or the same mascara that I use constantly, or like 2 different foundations that I rotate, or, you know, 1 eyeshadow palette that is my favorite neutral palette and it's the only one I ever talk about. How boring would that be, you know? So I think while it's nice to definitely revisit older products, the makeup industry keeps making new stuff and we are here to review it and to show it to you guys. And so what I've been trying to do lately is incorporate old and new products in a video together. Like, for example, the September edit that I did where I was talking about products that I want to pull out and use this fall. I included some old palettes along with the new. Or when I did like my top 10 fall palettes video, I also included some older palettes mixed in with the new ones. So that's sort of a way that I've been trying to work in my older stuff with the newer stuff. But usually if I do a video and it's just all older products, not a lot of people watch it. And it's kind of disheartening disheartening because while I'm not in this for the money, it does give me, I guess, a sense of satisfaction when a whole bunch of people tune in to one of my videos. It makes all of the work that I put in feel worth it, and I just feel like you guys are liking my content, which gives me a boost. But then on the flip side, if I spend all these hours working on a video and I post it and hardly anybody watches it, it can be a little discouraging. So I think that's probably why most of the YouTubers are just pushing the new all the time, because it's what people are clicking on. And if you guys really want to see older makeup in videos, make sure to watch those when the creators come out with them, because if those types of videos start getting higher views, then YouTubers will start doing more of them. And I think sometimes it also varies by channel. I've seen some YouTubers do older makeup videos that do really well because that's sort of their niche, I guess. But then other ones, like my channel, for example, it seems like the majority of my audience is into new releases and seeing what's new. So I have to kind of find that balance, because I actually do like talking about older makeup products. But like I said, I've been trying to kind of work them into videos where it's a mix of new and old. And then that way, the people who want to see new stuff aren't bored. The people who want to see older stuff kind of get their fix with it. So I would definitely like to hear your thoughts on this topic down below, because it's something I definitely struggle with. And this next one from Instagram actually kind of piggybacks on that one a little bit. It says, people say they hate the drama of the beauty community, but it drives the clicks, so clearly that's not true. Yeah, I mean, again, this is a situation where YouTubers are going outside of just talking about makeup, new releases, older products, whatever, and just focusing on drama. And yeah, drama channels have just exploded and everybody's into the drama, and that is what is making the money. That's what's driving the clicks and helping channels to get more popular. And that's sort of the fault, in a way, of the YouTube algorithm. I don't want to completely blame the algorithm, because it's supposed to work in such a way that content that people really want to see gets in front of the most people, and content that people don't really want to see gets buried and, you know, harder to find. And if you guys are not familiar with how the YouTube algorithm works, basically when I post a video, the first 2 hours or so, YouTube is analyzing my video. They're looking at how many comments I get, how many views it's getting in those first couple of hours, how much just engagement in general, and then it'll rank the video out of my last 10. Like, for example, they can say, this video is really taking off. It's like #1 or #2 out of your last 10 uploads. Or they'll say people are not clicking on this video when we recommend it to them, so they'll rank it like 9th or 10th. So then what I've seen happen is, if that video is in the top 1 or 2 of my most recent videos, I'll see that YouTube is recommending it to people, because a whole bunch of the clicks come from YouTube recommendations, and then they'll just keep pushing it out there, and they'll put my video after a really popular one, like let's say Emily Noel's video, and then it'll show preview of mine either after that or in the sidebar there, and greater chances that somebody will click on my video. YouTube will basically promote it because so many people watched it right off the start that they think it's going to start trending and become viral and make a lot of money for them and for me. And that's why so much clickbait exists nowadays, because if you put something really enticing in your thumbnail, even if it's not what the video is about at all, or it's like some overblown version of what your video is about, basically when people click on it, even if they only watch it for 30 seconds, I think it counts as a view, and then your video will start to trend and get popular, and YouTube will start promoting it. And I actually think it's unfortunate, because I feel like that's cheating the system, because you're basically enticing people to click on a video under false pretenses, and then it gets popular, but the actual content of the video could be totally boring compared to what people thought when they initially clicked on it. So in a perfect world, the YouTube algorithm will pick up on a video that just is really great content that a lot of people want to see, and then promote that good content. That's their intention. But there are ways to work around that a little bit, like clickbait, or like buying views. Some people buy views to kind of help boost it a little bit in the beginning, and then YouTube will continue to promote it. So anyway, getting back to the response, that's why people are doing so much drama nowadays, because it's just helping to drive their channel and help their channel to grow bigger. I also got a couple responses about sponsored videos. One says, sponsored videos are biased and I'm not really sure what to believe. Sponsored videos are just commercials and YouTubers are lying about the products. They mention it in a video and then we never see it again. Walmart sponsored videos need to go. I don't buy it for 1 minute. So yeah, sponsored videos are definitely a hot topic nowadays. And a sponsored video is in essence an advertisement for the video. You're a spokesperson, kind of like, you know, a celebrity spokesperson like Jennifer Aniston talking about using Aveeno products or drinking smart water. It's the same kind of thing, whereas we don't really know for sure if she does use Aveeno products or drink smart water. But a lot of people don't question it because it's very obvious that it's a commercial. But I think with YouTubers, those lines were blurred a little bit more because people came to view YouTubers as trustworthy, as, you know, you're not a celebrity spokesperson. I can actually trust what you're saying because you're just a regular person. But then all of a sudden they started doing the same thing and you feel like you can't trust them anymore. So I totally get that, and I do always take sponsored videos with a grain of salt when I'm watching other people's. All I can say for me personally is that when a brand reaches out to me and wants to do a sponsored video, I would say 90% of the time I say no. I think I've only done 2 on my channel that I can think of. One was for Bare Minerals holiday collection last year. It was like around this time or maybe in November of last year. And I also did a Walmart one, funny enough that she should mention that, over the summer. Now, both of those opportunities were very different from the ones that I normally get, which is where a brand comes to me and says, we want you to say this, we want you to say that, we need you to use this specific product or this group of products, and you have to say all positive things, and that's it. And to me, that is a commercial, especially if it's something that I've never tried before. The Bare Minerals one and the Walmart one were a little bit different in the sense that they actually let me choose the products that I was gonna use. So with the Bare Minerals one, I chose mostly products that I already knew and I'd tried before, and I knew that I liked them and would recommend them anyway. And the few products of theirs that were new to me, I actually had some time to try them out, and they had told me, you know, if you don't like something, we can swap it out for something else. They wanted to make sure that I truly loved everything that I was going to be talking about, which I really appreciated. And there was no script. They didn't tell me certain things that I had to say. It could just be in my own words, which was really great. And then as far as Walmart goes, they basically just said, you know, we'll pay you, but I actually had to spend my own money and go there and just do the shopping like I normally would. And I shop in the Walmart beauty section all the time because lately certain brands have actually been launching stuff there first. So they often have a lot of newer products. They also have brands that nobody else has, like Hard Candy and Found. Mine still has Flower Beauty, which otherwise I'd have to go to Ulta, which is a little further away from me. So I love going to their beauty department, and that video, basically the only thing that I had to say was that I bought all the products at Walmart. I think they just wanted to get the brand in front of people. It wasn't like you have to follow this script, you have to say this, this, and that about Walmart. I really didn't. I just had to say I bought all these products at Walmart. It was kind of like doing a haul, and I've done so many of those anyway. And out of all my Sunday hauls on my channel, how many times have I shown a bag and said, I went to Walmart and I got all this stuff? So it was basically like, we're gonna pay you to do what you're doing anyway, and that was a no-brainer for me. So I can't speak for everyone. That's just how I look at sponsored videos. I think a lot of other YouTubers probably feel the same way as I do and aren't just taking everything under the sun because they value their integrity. And for me, doing a sponsored video where they're telling me what to say, telling me what products to use, I feel like that would just stifle the creative process for me, and it wouldn't be fun, you know, to have this deadline or to feel like I have to be told what to say. The whole fun of this is that I get to do what I want. I don't have a boss. I don't have somebody breathing down my neck and telling me you have to say this or you have to do that. So again, I just think it comes down to finding YouTubers that you can trust and YouTubers that you feel like are really in this for the right reasons, and just knowing that there are a lot of sponsorships out there that aren't as restrictive as just being an ad. A lot of times I think if it already fits in with the YouTuber's brand and it's products that they would recommend to you anyway, I really don't see much wrong with it. Here's one that I haven't heard before, so I thought this was interesting. When a YouTuber slash influencer says something like, I got so many DMs about insert product, sometimes I think it's just a way to draw attention to something to get people to swipe up and use their affiliate links. Did you really get that many questions? I'm sure it's true sometimes, but it often feels really contrived. So yeah, I kind of feel that way too sometimes when I see people saying that, and I say it myself sometimes too, so I'm definitely guilty of that, but I've never completely made it up where I actually didn't get questions and it was just something that I wanted to talk about. Usually when I do it, it's not that I'm getting a ton of questions. Sometimes I do, but sometimes it's like I get 2 questions or 3 questions about a certain topic or a product, and that's more than normal. Like usually if somebody asks me a question about something and I just get that 1 question, I'll just answer them directly via DM or however they contacted me. But if I'm getting like 2 of the same people asking a question or 3, yeah, it's not a lot of people, but it's more than normal. So I start thinking, well, maybe if these couple of people took the time to reach out and ask this question, I bet a lot of other people are wondering the same thing. So that'll make me address everybody. And sometimes saying I got a lot of questions about this just sort of validates that, because if I said like, oh, 2 people contacted me and wanted to know this, it looks kind of weird. Like, why am I making a whole video just to address 2 people? But I think it's more just feeling like if a couple of people made the effort to reach out, then there's probably a lot of people wondering the same thing. I can't speak for everybody again, but like I said, sometimes it really is that I'm getting a ton of DMs and my inbox is blowing up, and then other times it's just a few people. But I've never completely made it up just to get people to, you know, get excited about something or click links. Another big one was about first impressions videos. So I'll read one of them. It says, first impression videos are pointless. You can't tell if you like something from just 1 use. So I agree with part of what you said, which is you can't tell that you like something after just 1 use. I definitely agree with you there. But I also don't agree that first impressions videos are completely pointless. It depends on what their purpose is. First impression videos can be helpful for some people if, for example, it's a brand that they already know and trust and would probably buy a product anyway, and they just really want to see it quickly in action, see some swatches before they make a purchase. Like, let's say I get a palette early before the launch day and I just want to put up a video and show you guys the palette up close. Sometimes promo pictures can look different than what the actual palette looks like, so I can let you know that information. That's actually happened a bunch of times lately where a palette looked completely different in the promo photos than it actually did when I saw it in store. So I think that information is helpful. Also, just showing some swatches. Not that swatches tell the formula of the product, but sometimes it's helpful to see them out of the packaging and just like the straight swatches on a certain skin tone. So that can sometimes help someone make a decision. Like if you love Anastasia's formula, for example, and they're coming out with a palette and you know that you would buy it based on formula, but you're just not sure about the colors, I think seeing a first impression might make you decide one way or the other so that you're prepared to buy it when it first comes out. Now, I think for someone who's not wanting to buy something immediately and who will take their time and do some research and want to see a lot of videos on something, then yeah, I think it makes sense to just watch some people who have already tried it for a while. If you're not like jumping the gun, like wanting to buy it as soon as it comes out, then yeah, I would say first impression videos are probably not the ones that I would watch, just because I'd like to get an overall sense of how things wear and how they apply and things like that. But I wouldn't say that first impressions are completely pointless. I think they do kind of serve a purpose. It just depends on what you're personally looking for. But I think definitely with most products, you need to try something out a little bit more before you can form a solid opinion on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one more. I think this video is gonna be really long, so I don't wanna drag it out too much. The last one is about PR, and I got both sides of the coin on this one, so I thought it'd be interesting to mention it. I got some like this one here, which says, PR is an unrealistic way to review new makeup. I feel like the videos are mainly biased. But then I got other people saying things like, YouTubers shouldn't be ashamed of getting PR, it's your job and it's a nice perk. So this one is another one where I can definitely see both sides of the issue. I think for some people, PR definitely creates bias. I think back to when I was first starting out and I was first blogging and I was broke. I didn't have enough money to buy makeup most of the time, so it was very rare that I was able to post. But once I had enough people reading my content and it was getting out there, I started getting approached by companies, and when that first happened, I was over the moon excited, and everything that everybody sent me, I wouldn't say that I lied about it, but I think there was probably a heavy bias there. If a product was terrible, I definitely wouldn't have, you know, sung its praises or led you guys astray. But at the same time, I probably made some more mediocre products sound better than they were. And I think that was me just trying to stay on the brand's good side because I wanted and needed that PR kind of to keep going. So I didn't want them to take me off their list. But as the years have gone by and I'm earning more and I can afford to buy the makeup now, when I get sent PR, I'm a lot more, I think, critical of it. And what I like to do is kind of just take a step back and think about, you know, if I were gonna buy this with my own money, would I? Like, would this be worth it to me to spend my hard-earned money on? If the answer is no, then I can't recommend it to you guys. And if on the flip side, if the answer is yes, I would spend my money on it, then that's something that I am going to recommend to you guys. But I think it's important for people who are doing this job to step back and really think about that for a minute and not to get all caught up in the fact that a brand is sending them something. It can be very flattering to be noticed by a brand. One perfect example for me is Milani. I've worn Milani's makeup since before YouTube, before I was blogging. I've always loved their products, and they only put me on their PR list maybe like a year ago. So I've been doing this for quite a while, and I was like, wow, I'm so excited because I love Milani. And then over the summer, I did a video on those 3 new palettes that they came out with, and it wasn't a very good review, and you know, they did send them to me, but I just felt like I was disappointed that they changed the formula, and I let you guys know that because a lot of you have felt the same way over the years about Milani's formula in the past and how much you liked it. And I wanted to be honest with you guys, and the whole time I was doing the video, I was thinking, well, this is it. They're gonna kick me off the PR list because I'm trashing this product. But at the same time, I knew that even if they did, I can still go out and buy these products now. You know, I think, again, it just really depends on the person and finding somebody that you feel like you can trust and who is doing this for the right reasons. All right, guys, so anyway, that's all I'm gonna do today. I feel like this video is gonna be really long. Hopefully it's not once I've edited, but I think I have over an hour of footage right now that I probably have to trim down a little bit. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, I would love to hear more of your opinions down in the comments below on any of these topics or ones that I didn't cover. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.